Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Bonsai, Dr. Bonsai's Meme Emporium, and I have an out-of-box review for Halo Flashpoint ODST, the new expansion set called First into Hell. I didn't want to do an out-of-boxing review, but my phone basically ate the originals that I had, the original video that I had of me doing it properly and unboxing it stage by stage. Basically, what you're seeing in front of here, minus the tokens for the individual, for the weapon drop markers, is pretty much what you get in the box set, which is quite a bit. So I'm going to go over, first things first, the board, which is, zoom in, and as you can see, it's very incredibly well illustrated, and it gives you an idea of what this board has to offer. It is actually new Mombasa, which is a big change from the game's previous focus on the Banished and being on a Halo ring, which is what the first two box sets were. The Spartan Edition came with kind of either a ship interior or a double-sided ship interior, or Halo kind of a grassy field terrain, and then the Rise of the Banished box came with the internal, the kind of the guts of a banished ship or a fortress. That map. This one is single-sided. It is actually, it's incredibly well illustrated, and you can kind of see the lines. Now, they did something interesting. We'll get into the terrain for a second. If you can kind of see how there's a bunch of diagonals across the board, and it gives you this nice illusion of depth here. Let's see if you can kind of see that in the corner there. So it's got a lot going on. As you can see, it comes with an immense amount of terrain, which is fairly typical for these Halo Flashpoints. Probably the biggest one is this tower, which is size 3, which is 3 cubes in height. So it's only got a 1 cube footprint, but it's like 3 cubes of height, which makes it good for your guys with jetpacks or jump packs, that kind of thing. Then you have this kind of, if you recognize this from playing ODST, this is a big like a barricade, and you get these little municipal signs that are double-sided. Of course, evacuate. So you've got the dead side, you've got this side, and then detour, that side. And like with the rest of these, they're double-sided internally. I made the decision to actually glue my sets together so you can kind of see what the reverse side is. I went with the more colorful, kind of red band on it. These planters. I did that because, unlike the rest of the sets that I got that came from Halo Flashpoint, I felt like they were really, the fits were really loose. I don't think that they were optimally put together. So that was just a choice that, or like the tolerance wasn't there. Like like Flashpoint, and especially Rise of the Banished, the tolerance for those cardboard buildings were really tight, and the terrain was really tight, and they would just hold together with friction. And these ones just didn't, for whatever reason. So I made the decision to lock most of these in. Then you get this cool kind of like bunker or watchtower, and then remember reach, and then of course it's double-sided on the inside. So that's looking really good. You get these 2 sets of staircases. I think I might have put these together incorrectly, and that's so that they can lead up to the little garden planter things. You get 2 of these garden planters, again double-sided, so where it's kind of lit up at the bottom. I may have put this one together incorrectly. I'm pretty sure I did. So yeah, kids, read the instructions. The instruction booklet that actually comes with it is really good. But I'm an old school modeler, and I'm just like, I know what I'm doing. No, I wasn't. So you get that, and then you get, as soon as I say that, one of the planters that I didn't glue together fell right apart. That's funny. So that one. So in addition to all this terrain, which of course you can mix and match with the rest of the stuff that you get in the original, pretty much any box set that you get from Halo Flashpoint but of course if you want to make specifically a Deference for Darkness Halo 3 ODST themed map. This is new Mombasa streets. This is new Mombasa terrain. This is Earth, right? So if you want to play that bespoke look for that battle, then that's where you're gonna go. So we're gonna lower this down again. All right. So we've got the command dice, which are, we get 6 of these. They are colored in gray. They are nicely detailed. The paint fill is good on these. There's no spill. They're fantastic. So, as usual, some kind of olive drab, some kind of Spartan green, if you will, D8s for your dice. Of course, they're just D8s. There's nothing particularly special about them besides the coloring. And then you get your weapons, weapon cards for your weapon drops and to equip guys. So you get the SOCOM, and on the back of each one generally has detail. So you get the BR-55, M7S SMG. You get the flamethrower. This one is fun. There's two new keywords. There's a new keyword, incendiary, which is going to be a good time. You get your Ma 5K carbine. You get your M90. You get 2 demo charges, and you get 4 combat knives. So this is kind of your generic kind of staple onto the unit card when you take it. They also introduce some turret weapons for this. So you get the weapons that have firing platform. So you get the M247. You get 2 of those. You get 2 of the scrap cannons. You get 2 of the plasma cannons. You get 2 more of the flamethrowers, which are again not turrets, but they're just kind of add-on weapons. And then you get the missile pods, and these are basically, you can just lug these around, which would be kind of neat. Or support, it's got support weapon. I'm sorry, so there's going to be some restrictions on what you can and can't do with that. So those are the weapon cards, and then next you get your units. Mine are kind of bowed. I don't know why. So you get 2 characters in the box set. You get Veronica Dare, and if you get the first run of the Halo Flashpoint box, these are actually exclusive to this box, and I'll show those off here in a minute. So you get this really sick order. You may only use this special once per round. It does not require Veronica Dare to be present on the board at the time to use. At the start of the round, immediately after command dice have been rolled and any rerolls performed, spend a special order result to change 2 of your remaining command dice to the result of your choice. So this gives you almost complete control of your orders, and especially since she has tactics too. So you start with 2, you add another 2, you roll your die, you roll all 4, you get your tactician re-rolls, and then you're like, I'm still not happy with that, so I'm just going to change. So if I have at least a special order dice in my hand, I can flip 2 of the other results to something that I want them to be. It's just incredibly strong. And what you'll see is that a lot of these characters for the ODSTs fairly squishy, no energy shields, as should be expected. Movement rate is not that great, 1 to 2. Only 1 armor, 3 hit points. And she's a character. She's a special character. She's got stealthy. She's got the SOCOM. And you've got Buck, who has a Magnum and an assault rifle. Excuse me. Again, slightly better range attack, fast transition, scout, tactician. So he's actually pretty stout. Then you get supply drop, which you get 2 of these. So if you're playing like a mirror match against your opponent, against your friend who wants to play the game, you can do that. And basically, immediately after rolling command dice is completed, you may spend a special order token result to take one face down item token from the supply pile and place it on any cube that contains no models. So this is basically like if you remember Halo 2, like you're walking around and you see those they look like giant like capsules that kind of post into the ground that have guns and stuff in them. That's basically what that is. So you can say, okay, well, I've got my guy standing next to this cube. I'm gonna drop a spanker on this cube for him to grab for his next turn and use it on somebody. You have hot drop, and this is basically you can respawn and you can just drop at a point that you want, so long as you pass a test. And of course, if you don't pass, you take damage. So it's actually really strong and it's really good. Then you get your ODST guys proper. You get the fire break. Again, nothing to write home about. 1 armor, 3 hit points. These guys are going to be very, very crunchy. But the flamethrower, for example, this guy, he's got a demo charge, which is blast, EMP, lethal 1 use. And then you have M7057 flamethrower, range 2, nothing to write home about, again, because of his speed. But it's got continuous fire and incendiary 5, which basically means, might as well. And these are the rules for this, and this kind of gives you a quick overview of what ODST are. You get the additional upgrades. Incendiary. So, incendiary 5, for example, roll 5. So replace the N with 5. So roll 5 dice, range test X. So range test is your ranged attack. So 5 dice looking for 4+. With no modifiers allowed, all models in the target cube must survive a 3 dice survive test. So your survive stat. Compare the number of successes rolled to determine the number of hits caused as per normal shooting. In addition, any damage taken, all models in the cube gain a fire token. So basically, you set people on fire, which as you should be doing with flamethrower. When a model with a flame token is activated, so they either have to pat it out or they have to just soak a wound if they choose to ignore it, and then which is nasty. And then of course you get new grenades, specifically demo charge. Then you get the repair field and your command upgrades, your turret weapons, special orders. And so keep in mind, these are UNSC guys, right? So they have their own stuff, but they can kind of bleed over to one another. So Army of One, obviously that's chief only. Hot drop and supply drop, that's available to any UNSC fire team. So that's going to be super strong if you're taking either a mixed fire team or with both Spartans and ODST, which you can do, or just an ODST team to get you the weapons that you want where you want them. And then you get your new assault. You get your new scenarios. You get arena. You get assault elimination and strongholds elimination. So that's this book. A lot of these rules are going to be on the web app, which is a web-based application through Mantic Games website. If you just Google, Mantic Halo app, then you'll find it. You'll be able to log in. It's free to create one army list. To unlock some of the other stuff, it's like $3 a month, which is it's better than GW, which is kind of a low bar. But so anyways, you get 2 cards for those. You get your bullfrogs. So you get 2 of these. So they've got acrobatic, junk pack, optics, weight of fire. So these guys are pretty nasty. Again, they're going to be extremely squishy. They are faster, so that is a consideration. But it is what it is. And then you get your special purpose trooper, which is kind of your dude, bro, your regular guy with the BR-55, who's got optics, weight of fire. So you get 2 of those. You get an ODST captain. He's only equipped with Zocom, so it's you're usually going to want to stick something else on him. And again, nothing to write home about stat wise. These guys are going to pop really fast. Now you can have multiple captains, and then the other thing you can have is you can have multiple second lieutenants. So you can just get tactics dice out the wazoo and make them do all sorts of crazy stuff. So and you get your fire break, and these are kind of a continuation of kind of like your demolition guys, your combat engineers, if you will, where they've got the shotgun, they've got a demo charge, really nasty little characters, and the fact that you can have multiples of those guys is going to be bad news for somebody, because you can just be hucking demo charges all across the table, all over the place. And then you get more of these guys with MA40 assault rifles, so they've got more and longer range firepower. They're more maneuverable, so although they hit worse. Then you have kind of your, again, another ODST special purpose troopers, and again, these guys are going to be your sharpshooters. So he's got the DMR, so you get two of these guys with the DMRs, range 6, lethal 1, optics, really nasty. And then ODST second lieutenant, he's got, the carbine. They've got the carbine. They've got tactics 1. They can scout. So each one of these characters is going to give you a lot of flexibility in the way that you play your team, and the fact that you can have quite a lot of them based on the amount of based on the points values that you're given for them. They're going to be very glass cannony. So if you're playing like Slayer or something, you're gonna have to be very kind of cautious with that. But if you're playing something like based on objective control, then you can do the whole rope-a-dope thing with, like, hey, I got my guys, my scary guys with my demo charges and stuff over here, and then I've got my guys with, I got my bullfrogs that are dashing, using their special orders to pick up other stuff, so they're gonna be. So yeah, so we get all of our guys here. So you get our fire breaks. Now these guys come with something that we didn't have before, which is sculpted bases, and that adds about 1 millimeter to the height. As you can see, they're very well detailed, despite the kind of the soft plastic nature. The guns, I feel like there's a slight bend to them, but I don't think it's severe enough to be like, I'm freak out about, because unfortunately, that's just the nature of the medium. So these are your other special purpose guys. Here you go. So you get your two different poses for your special purpose guys. You have the guy with the BR to the side, then you have the guy with the DMR, who's kind of like scanning for targets. And again, you have this lovely detail that's very true to the video games, with a lot of great detail. If I can get this thing to focus, there we go. So and you do get the, there we go. I don't know if you can see that, but you do get the subtle visor lines on there, kind of like a Spartan helmet. So, and then you get two of these sculpts. So you get the guy with the SMG, and you get the guy with the assault rifle. So both looking really good. So you get two sculpts of those. Then you get your two second lieutenants. Now this guy has a kinked gun. That guy has he's got some projectile dysfunction, if you catch my meaning. So that's going to take a hot water bath to correct. But again, really good detail otherwise. This guy's fine. There's nothing wrong with him. So, and again, you get two of these sculpts. Finally, you get your heavy flamethrower fire breaks, which just look the business. These things are going to be bad for people's health. And I feel like these are going to be fairly popular just for the look by themselves. And then last but not least, you get the officers. You get two of these sculpts. very natural pose. Arms not really kind of cradling the weapon like it should, but very natural pose. Very cool. Reasonably sized weapons. So these guys are looking really good. You get, again, 2 of these. So you get 2 of each of these characters. So you get quite a lot of content in the box. Now, there's going to be a couple of things that I'm going to show off here that I did not. One of the things that I think is the weakest part about these models is the fact that they're very, very tall. Now, these guys are normal humans, so like 6 foot, right? So we assume 6 foot or 5'10" or whatever you want to call it. So compared to a Spartan, an elite, a Spartan at least, they're very, very, very. What am I trying to say here? They seem taller, so we're going to simply correct that. Get a realistic idea. And before we do that, I forgot to mention the 2 characters that come in this first run of box set, which is Dare and Buck. So Veronica, Dare, and Buck from Halo 3 ODST. Both are multi-piece miniatures. They cleaned up really well. All you had to do is give them a nice hot bath in dish soap to get all the crap off them, all the mold release off them, and you're good to go. Come on. I don't know if you can see that, but you can kind of see she's got the UNSC crest on her armor. It's very, very difficult to see. I don't know how that's going to survive priming and painting, but we'll see about that. And then, of course, Buck he's got modeled with his pistol. He's got his assault rifle, fully sculpted base. He is both arms, and then a torso, and then the base. And then Veronica is also the torso, head, this part, the torso, legs, head, and then the 2 arms, and then the base. So these are limited run thing. I don't know if they're going to keep making them. The fact that they're in resin and that they're only for this first run of Halo stuff, my knee-jerk reaction is to think that it's probably not. So we're going to see what happens with that. And then, so anyways, back to scale. So we've got here, let me see if I can't try to get it to focus a little bit better. There we go. So you get your standard guy. This is one of the most upright poses that you can get in the box. And then you have Mark 7, a Mark 7 guy. He's a little bit taller. I think the thing that maybe is causing the height difference, let's see if I can get that even more pronounced. I think the main thing that's causing the height difference is the character's that slight upsize on the base. So he's kind of cheating it by a little bit. I think if that base was just flush, I think it wouldn't be as pronounced. So there's that. And then next you have an elite. So compared to, flip these around to kind of a neutral side. There we go. So seems fairly tall compared to an elite, but at the same time, the elite is kind of hunched over and hulking over. So I'm trying to frame this properly. There we go. And then finally, you have the brute. And the brute obviously is gonna be much bigger than one of these guys, just by their nature of being taller. So just being much bigger aliens. So if we do the size comparison, so you got the 2 humans that are more or less the same height, even though Spartan 2 or Spartan 4 is supposed to be like 7 foot tall. And then you have the Sanghili that's also supposed to be pretty big, but again, admittedly the pose is hunched over. They take up a lot less real estate on the board for the simple fact that they have a much smaller base. I believe that's a 25 mil base, and then you have Dare, who is a bit shorter, and then you have Buck, who is looks like he's shorter, but that's because he's in a more crouched over pose. So miniature side aside. Miniature size aside, excuse me. I think there's a lot of great content in this box. I think a lot of people were waiting for ODSTs to drop before they bought into Halo Flashpoint because they wanted to see what it is. You're going to get basically a box cutter of a team that's good at pretty much anything that you can throw at it, that has a high level of customizability, especially when you realize that, hey, Spartans and ODST are both UNSC. I can mix and match that, much in the same way that you can mix and match your Banished and your Sankheili mercenaries. So I feel like that's going to lead to a lot of crazy, cool team builds, and I'm eager to see what the community does with it. So that's pretty much it. Sorry for the out of box review. Like I said, my phone basically ate the original video that I wanted to do with it, which was unfortunate. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think. If you like like my content, please like, share, and subscribe, because that's how the like system works these days. I am in fact still alive. I have not given up on this. I've been mostly posting on my Facebook, and that's mostly because I just haven't had much to say as far as like videos go. Main reason being is that I've been really cooled off of BattleTech, and there's just nothing that they're putting out that is speaking to me as a player, as a consumer, and of course the fact that they kind of take my business for granted. I don't I don't want them to take my business for granted. So I've been looking at other stuff, and I'm kind of getting remotivated now that the weather's turning and I can't go outside as much, and that kind of thing. I'm kind of excited to start trying to put out more content about more games and more kind of opinion pieces about what's going on in the world as far as the tabletop war games industry goes. So stay tuned. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.